Hello everyone, I am ESV.iakona, and this is my second video blog. I had some success with the first one, so I decided to go forward and make a second vlog now. So, the main thing is there's a lot that has actually happened since the last one I made, since I made that when the game was still down. The game is actually playable now. It started on Tuesday earlier this week. It's now Saturday, so it's been a little bit. I've got some time to play and test around with things. But covering what has happened during the break, because while the game was still down through that whole week, there were actually still tournaments being broadcasted. The ECS and MBI matches were being casted then, so want to congratulate first Symbio Gaming for winning both of the tournaments. It's pretty good job for them, and congrats. Also, since the game has come up, everyone's accounts reset back to level 1, so as far as I know, no one's really said otherwise, but congratulations to Soldier, who is actually on Symbio Gaming, but he was the world's first 40. I don't even know if he really slept. I don't know, like I played some games with him and I think he was like sleeping while he was playing. I don't know. He grinded that out for like 3 or 4 days and got all the way to 40 first. So congratulations to Soldier on that. Also some other big announcements that have happened. BlizzCon. The 4 organizations that are going to be bringing teams to BlizzCon has been announced, which, for those of you unaware, it's Team Liquid, Evil Geniuses, Fnatic, and Cloud9. They have teams between like the 4, and they have teams in basically every single game that you guys have heard of or probably haven't heard of in esports. Also, actually, a couple of the teams have announced. Fnatic announced their full roster, which I don't remember all of them, but it's got one Heroes of the Storm player, Ace of Spades. It's got a couple StarCraft players, Naniwa and Sase, and it's got a couple League players, Lamia, Zealot, and I don't remember who the last one is, but there's also that stuff's on Twitter and other thing. Fnatic site, I'm sure we'll have that. And also Team Liquid announced the captain for their team, which will be Liquid Sheth, which for the people in the game, I don't think that came as a surprise, since Sheth was putting a lot of time and effort into this game. It was like a no-brainer for him to be on the team. So that's, I guess, 1.5 or kind of a team. So there's still a lot of room. Still a lot of stuff that hasn't been announced yet for that. BlizzCon is about a month away, so it'll be interesting to go watch those and see the expedition matches and see get some more attention, or get people to like start watching the game more and start building the scene that way. So enough about that. Since the game has come up, it actually was patched as well. So there's some new heroes. There's also some new changes to existing heroes. So I just wanted to go over and give my thoughts about that. I played the game for a few days. I actually haven't been able to play the heroes themselves because I have no gold. Gold income kind of sucks in this game, so I haven't had gold to buy them. But I've seen people play them, and I've talked to other people, gotten their input. So, first one I want to cover is Asmodin. He is a specialist, I think. Main thing around him is he summons a lot of minions, sort of on the like a Zagara, like who will constantly be spotting minions and pushing. So I feel he kind of fills a similar like split pushing role as Zagara. I'm not quite. I've heard mixed reviews if he's better or worse, but the main thing he actually has is his trait lets him summon a minion globally to help push a lane and buff them, which I think is pretty strong right now. His ultimates, he's got one that summons a lot of minions. It's like his ultimates I don't think are game-changing, but the rest of his kit, like summoning minions and constantly pushing, will just drain turret shots like no other, and it's pretty ridiculous. Also the fact he gets Healing Ward at level 1. He's the second damage. I kind of consider him damage, but Tacitor is the other one. Like both of them get Healing Ward outside of like traditional support roles. So that's I think that's pretty huge as well that he gets that. The other one is Anubarak. He is classified as a warrior. He is a huge CC bot. I kind of would put him along the lines of Diablo, where Diablo has a ton of CC. Like Diablo can flip and charge people and whatnot. He has 2 stuns and a shield. I guess they're kind of AoE stuns. One of them just shoots out in a line, knocks people up along the way. The other one he tunnels and pops up and knocks people in that small area. But in essence, I think I see generally people, they tunnel in, then they throw their spikes so that they double knock up the person like right in front of them or the couple people. And then he also gets rewind at level 13, so they rewind. He pops everyone up again, and then he can like tunnel out if he wants, or he can just tunnel again and pop more people up. So there's a lot of CC lockdown from him just without even his heroics. His heroics though, he's got one that's a cocoon that puts someone, I think it's like 5 seconds normally, but you can like hit it and kill it early, but it webs someone away, which I think is actually very strong, especially since it works on Garden Terror. That might be a glitch, because in this patch they made it so Garden Terrors can't polymorph each other, so maybe that's just a glitch, and in the future it will get changed, but for now, I think he's pretty strong in that aspect that he brings to the team. It might work on Dragonite, I'm not really sure, I haven't seen anyone do that yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if it does. So I think Asmodin and Nubarak are pretty strong right now, just what they bring to the team, and also a lot of people, we still have to figure out like how to deal with them, or what comps go good, what's the counter to them, you know. So it's still a lot to come, and who knows, they might get buffs or nerfs, I don't know, in the next patch. The other thing I was kind of surprised about is they didn't actually nerf Healing Ward, which I think Healing Ward right now is very strong, and because they buffed it maybe the patch before that, or 2 patches before the most recent one, but they buffed it from 2% to 3%, and it was already kind of good at 2%, and 3% just threw it over the window, especially since you can stack them. I'm surprised that they didn't address that issue, especially since Tassadar, people usually go Tassadar plus one other healer that gets the Healing Ward, which is kind of strong for team fights. They completely, well, not really completely, but they reworked Nova's talents a lot, which made her a lot more relevant. Her problem was that she had some burst, but the burst couldn't really kill people, so they gave her this one talent, I think it's called Hot Shots at level 7, which makes you attack 3 times as slower, but makes your attacks do 330% damage, so it's basically a 10% damage buff on your auto attacks, kind of like if you do the math. But the main thing is it takes 3 seconds of auto attacks into 1 second, so it's basically like another snipe. And also the fact at level 4 now she gets Gathering Power. Usually people wouldn't Venom, but I think Gathering Power is going to be the go-to talent now, because that just makes her burst even more ridiculous. Like between snipe, pinning shot, like precision strike, and auto attack and stuff, like she can one shot basically anyone besides like tanks. Well, not really one shot, but she can like combo down any squishy for sure. Any assassin can be killed except maybe Tychus with his Odin. I don't even know, maybe she can do that, but that she can kill like any assassin, she can kill like any support. I think she's very strong right now, and something's probably going to get changed. Maybe Gathering Power might be removed, I don't know, but I think once tournament matches are going to start playing, she's going to see a lot more play, and I don't know, maybe it just brought her relevant and brought her up to the level of everyone else, but I think she got swung a little bit more on the other end of it, and I don't know, we'll just see what happens there. Today actually starts King of the Nexus, King of the Storm, I think it's called, tournament, the return of it, so we'll see if there's any play, since there was a tournament like the first day the game came up, but it was just a mini tournament to test out custom games, I think, but this is going to be like kind of like the first actual tournament today. My team, Wildfire, actually isn't going to be able to participate in it because a couple of our members couldn't make it, couldn't get off work, so kind of sucks, but we'll make do. But it'll be interesting to see what kind of comes out of this, since this is the first like a big tournament since the patch happened. As for other changes to the patch, I think those are the major ones. Like they fixed some bugs, like terrors can't polymorph other terrors, which was pretty stupid for fights, and I think that'll make the map a little bit more balanced or less. I don't know. It'll make it a little bit better, I think. Trying to think of what else. I think that's kind of covers the general basic outlines of the patch. Oh yeah, well they added custom games. I forgot about that. Custom games are back in, kind of big, you know, where you can choose your map. I haven't been able to test it out myself yet, actually, but it's going to make a huge difference for tournaments now that we don't have to be like, okay, everyone, stop queuing. Everyone, no, you're queuing. Stop queuing. It's just us two. We're queuing right now. We're scrimming or we're playing in a tournament. You stop queuing, and then we get a game. And we play, and like, okay, you guys can start queuing now. And it's like the next one goes. And it's like the next one. There was like waiting lists of like 3 teams, like 3 sets of matches that would go like once one team gets in, they go, the next one, or sometimes it was like one team would go, they get mismatched, the next team would go, and then the team that got mismatched would then try again, and then the other team, like, it would just, like, for like an hour or something, like, it was ridiculous, like, some of these, like, I just couldn't even play the game as, like, with my team to practice or scrim, because it was impossible to hit anyone, everyone was sniping each other, it was ridiculous, so custom games will hopefully change that up. The main problem is solo queue. I guess it'll be a little bit more balanced because there'll be less teams just 5-manning into it, but that means for the high elo players that it will take even longer because there's less people on their skill level that are more likely to queue at like S5. So that might make it even worse for us. When we're already having like 7-minute queues, we might turn it into like 10-minute queues. I don't know. Since the MMRs all got reset, so people haven't had time to get their MMR back up. But yeah, that's oh yeah, I also I started streaming. Since my team took the week off, so I basically turned that into streaming time. I streamed like every single day, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I streamed for like 8 hours every single day. I would stream for more, but I actually had work in the morning. I was only getting like 4 hours of sleep, which is quite a difference for me, but it's probably going to start being more normal. But I'll be streaming a lot more. Starting next week, I think my team practice schedule is going to start up, so I'm not going to be able to stream those 8 hours, but I will be streaming regardless. I'll find time. I'll make time. Probably at the end, probably more back to the late night streams I used to do, but we'll see something happens. Just stay tuned. I will get my my streaming schedule figured out probably within the next couple days. I don't know, well, days from today. I don't know whenever you guys are watching this, but I'll be doing that, so take a look. Keep a watch out for that. Thanks again for tuning in to my second video blog. There are a lot of updates today, so I just wanted to cover all that to catch everyone up on what's kind of going on. Thanks again for tuning in to my second video blog. I will probably be doing more of these, most likely on a weekly basis, once a week. I don't know, it might change depending upon if things happen or not happen, but I'll be doing more of these. If you have any comments or feedback, I'd love to hear it. If you can leave it in the comments box below this YouTube video, or there'll probably be a Reddit post. You can leave comments there as well. I'll look at those. But I would really appreciate the feedback on this. It's still kind of starting out and never done this before, so it's still kind of new. And also, actually, I think that's about it. Thank you again for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you guys for my next one.